Are you looking for an inspiring listen? Something to motivate you? You've come to the right place. Welcome to Women of the Northwest, where we have conversations with ordinary women leading extraordinary lives. Motivating, inspiring, compelling.
Is this happening? Are we recording?
It's happening.
Oh. Okay. This is happening.
This is happening!
All right.
Guys, it's happening.
Welcome to Women of the Northwest. Today we have an extremely special guest, our host herself, who we have convinced to be interviewed, with her daughter Sidney and me, the usurper daughter Morgan.
You may have heard Morgan Burdick earlier on an interview, a previous interview. And you may have heard Sidney and her sister Emily on a Christmas interview.
Well, this is a Mother's Day special edition. So, ladies and gentlemen, probably just ladies. I don't know.
No.
What's your fan base?
Yeah,
Mom?
yeah. Ladies and gentlemen and, whoever.
You're right, the entire 5th floor of OHSU. We see you out there. Okay, so I want you to know that I have compiled a whole list of questions that I have been dying to know, Mom, since before you ever even had a podcast.
Ooh.
For years and years ago, when you said, one day, I'm going to start a podcast, and this is what it's going to be called. I've had these questions on my phone.
My.
This is a lot of buildup.
It really is, so if they're bad questions.
We'll just see about what the answers are.
Also, I haven't told her any of these, so she has no advance warning as to what these are, so really getting you on the spot here.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, you ready for the most important question?
Yes.
Who's your favorite kid?
And the next question is?
And move on.
Okay, alright, okay. Well, alright, I guess let's start, I was really... Alright, fine. Alright, okay, fine. We'll just say that it's me. Okay, we'll start with some easy, simple. What brings you the most joy in your life?
Is this the right answer, Sidney Claire?
Could be.
Okay, the most joy. I think my most joy comes from relationships. And so when my children contact me, maybe on a daily basis or more sometimes, it brings me joy because then I get to build relationships with them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you think your greatest accomplishment in life is?
I feel like Sidney Johnson's the right answer to all these questions.
I think we might be fishing. You like to fish, right? Okay, so name some things that you think that I've done, or I've done, or whatever, and then maybe I'll pick one.
No. This is...
That's not how
we're
interviews
interviewing
work.
you. Good try, though.
Okay, greatest accomplishments. Gosh, there's so many of them. It's hard to narrow down.
And she's so humble, too.
I know, it's true.
You can pick 3 for us.
Oh, can I pick?
Yeah,
okay.
that helps.
Well, one of my favorites was doing the murals at the school down the halls.
Tell us about that.
There were a long hall of like 4th through 8th grade classes down this hall with blank white walls. And so I started pulling kids out of the classes and helping them find pictures of different nature things. So we had an ocean scene and Cannon Beach and
forest.
Big Creek and forests, and so they all did different parts of it, a big whale and a big osprey and different things on there. So yeah, that was a fun accomplishment.
I had, we had a it was like a beanbag or something. We wanted to have feet walking across the beach. And so I sat down on this beanbag and Emily painted my feet and I walked on the wall. And then she drug me to the bathroom to wash my feet off.
Yeah, that was fun. I think writing my first novel was a big accomplishment because it took a long time.
Well, that leads us into our next question.
Because it took a long time to write and a lot of learning curve to do that.
Okay, well, on that subject, tell us about your writing and your books that have been published or are on the way to be. What inspired you to write them? What were challenges along the way? What do you wish you did differently, or what do you like about them?
Oh my.
Hit it.
Okay. All right, so the first book is I Will Enter His Gates, A Walk with God, which is a memoir written about my first husband who had a brain tumor. So, and he had left his journal and just about what God was doing with him throughout it. So, looking through that, I felt like that was something that people would want to read and gain support through and whatever. So I wrote it as a memoir. It took me a long time, like probably 30 years to figure out how to do that because I didn't really know what I was doing. And so that was the first thing. Then I wanted to do something fun because that was really hard to do. And so Sidney, one of my favorite daughters,
Very diplomatic.
happens to be a nurse on a very difficult floor and happened to originally have a couple of fun friends that have changed over the time still. And so with all of her silly stories or crazy things, I moved into a romance genre. So writing, filling some of the stories that are on the floor and working with kind of getting, toward a happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
Happily ever after.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so that's going to be a series of 4. First 2 are written. And then I just finished a Christmas novella.
What have you learned about yourself in writing your own story?
Oh, my own story? Looking way back, I wish I could know what I know now about life and could have been a nicer person earlier on. I think it's pretty cranky and pretty snippy and right too many times.
That's hard for me to picture.
Maybe arrogant a little. So, yeah. So hopefully I'm not that person anymore.
So what I guess advice would you give either to younger you or to your children? What would be life lessons, advice, goals, things that you would share with us?
The important things in life are relationships, because everything else goes away. You know, it doesn't matter what kind of job you've got or what kind of house you've got or what kind of car you drive or, how great of cookies you make.
I actually think that's pretty important.
Yeah, we just had some really, really good cookies. So
Mama Jan makes a mean cookie.
Is to focus on those things and to really try and discern what is it that you really want in life and seek after those things, and not just because maybe somebody tells you need to be a certain kind of a person that you would be, switching to really looking at your heart.
How have the things you have really wanted in life changed as a mom, as a person in the world over your life?
Let's see. When I got out of college, I was gonna spend my senior year of college in France. I was accepted to a ceramic school there. And then I was pregnant. And so I wasn't sure that I wanted to go to a foreign country that I didn't know anything with and spoke a little bit of French with to have a baby. So it wasn't quite that brave to do. I think I was a lot more adventuresome when I was young, but maybe that's tempered a little bit with being married to someone who is not real adventuresome.
Oh, really? I thought that he was known for
adventures. Other than going to Guatemala to see
Sorry,
sponsored
Dad.
Adventures in sheep farming.
Okay, so let's see what other things.
Next punk.
Well, I didn't anticipate having 10 kids. I thought 3 would be plenty. And that changed.
Why? Why did, like... I guess if at this point you had 3, he had 4. At what point were you like, yeah, this is a good idea? Yeah, let's do it.
Of having more? Or
well,
what?
no, of getting married and saying yes to that to begin with.
to saying yes to 7?
I'm very happy with the way that it turned out. Supremely happy.
Because you got a good sister, too.
But what was like, yeah, this is, okay, we can do this.
Yeah. Because I think I like challenges.
You hear that, Dad?
And
She married you because you were a
think-
challenge.
I always think I can do things, and
And you did things.
and I did things. Yeah.
So speaking of doing things, I hear that you started a preschool.
I did start a preschool.
How'd that happen? What inspired that?
I had my degree was in early childhood education, and part of that I think was because I had volunteered in a Head Start, and I really, really enjoyed that. So, and working with kids was a lot of fun, and so I felt like that was just something I really, really enjoyed doing that. And then when I had graduated from college, I worked at a preschool before I moved up to Oregon, down in Arizona. So,
What was the biggest mistake you made in the process of starting a preschool?
I don't think there were a lot of challenges. There was, I did it in a church, so it already had, the setting was there and whatever. And then the pastor had asked several people if they would chip in to start like a GoFundMe kind of type of thing, whatever. So they started with like $5,000, and that was enough to get toys and get it off the ground, and the, pots and pans, things for lunches, and some curriculum, and start paying people and whatever. So
Who helped you? It was you and anyone? Anyone? Like, were there like any aides, any parents that came volunteered, anything like that?
Well, I hired people. So at one point I had 13 staff people. Yeah.
Okay, so what became of this preschool? Because now it is.
Oh, so I did that for 9 years, and then Howard got his brain tumor, and I needed a job that had insurance that could help with that. And so I started working at the Warrenton Grade School. But the preschool eventually turned into a Christian school. It's still there.
Yeah.
So you are the
You're
foundress of
founder
a school.
of a school.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, instead of Hilda Lahti, they could call it the Jan Johnson.
Well, that's I think it used to be called the Jan Johnson. And you know those, what do you call the points? The pointed something? Like the murals made out of little dots?
Oh, pointillism?
Pointillism. They need a pointillism picture of your face on the wall. So when you come in, it says, the Jan Johnson School for, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
And it just has like a pointillism.
Oh.
Or a nice big mural, founder and headmistress.
Yeah. Ooh, headmistress.
With some ears. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we
And
go.
no one will take that mural down.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know.
Hey, it's my podcast now.
Okay.
We ask the questions.
That's right. Okay.
Okay. So recently you got involved with this 100 Women. Tell us all about that.
100 Women Who Care is an organization that is national, and I think there may even be some international ones. So I started a chapter here, and basically your goal is to have 100 women who will meet 4 times a year, listen to presentations of 3 nonprofits, local nonprofits, vote on one, and then everyone writes a check for $100. So that's $10,000 that goes right to that organization. So we had our first meeting last week, and it was very successful. We're not quite... we started with about... I was going to be happy to have 30 members, and we had 65 at our first meeting.
Wow.
And I'm up to 85 now, so I'm really excited about that. So,
where can people find information about it?
We'll put a link in the show notes.
You're an official podcaster now.
I know.
Do you hear that?
I know.
We'll put a link in the show notes. What a boss. Okay. So how did you find out about this? Why are you interested in it?
I found out about it because when we went to Ecuador on a trip to see our sponsored kids, there was a woman on the trip with us, and she had just started a chapter in Minnesota and had their first meeting and was all excited about it. And I thought, well, that's something I want to do one of these years. So, yeah.
So what are some of the things that potentially the money could go to?
The first time we did cultural and arts, because I was thinking there wouldn't be quite as big of an impact, and I wanted to save the bigger impact for other things. So the first one went to 1015 Theater. They had a flood in their basement, and so they needed funds to repair that, replace costumes and other damaged things that they had there. So that was the first one. Next one is going to be houseless, mental health, and veterans. That's our categories. So
that's our
Yes,
people,
so
Sidney.
we can get
your
on,
people.
We can
That's
get on
your
board with that.
people. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so what are some of those local organizations that might benefit from that? What are ones that might be
Well, I
involved?
just found out that one of our members works at the Veterans in Warrenton. So she will be nominating that one. Some local ones would be Helping Hands, River Folk, Feeding Hungry Bellies, Warming Center, food banks, some of the Clatsop Behavioral Health has things, and yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
One of the things that I notice about you is how many different pots you have fingers in, and the way that all of those things you're doing contribute to your community.
Yeah.
How do you end up in all of these different places?
I don't know. Things just come to me. When I married Ed and came here and the kids got started at the school, there was no parent club. How can you not have a parent club?
I forgot that's on the
of
list.
course I had to start a parent club, and then when I was a reading specialist, and I put together a parent family book club. That was fun,
Yes.
and just because there's a need for things, and I don't know, I just always have vision for what's lacking in something.
A lot of people can notice things like that, but most of them don't start the solution.
Yeah.
What do you think is different about how you address those needs you see?
I don't know if it's a curse or a gift. I don't know. I just... I guess part of it, my mom always said, if you see something needs to be done, then do it.
That's funny.
Don't
My
wait
mom
for-
said the same thing.
Don't wait for somebody else to make it happen. And I think that's the more that you step out and try and do things, you find out it's not so hard, to organize or to make it happen. Remember when we did the old-fashioned days? Pioneer days.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we set up, we got all these people that had a wash tub, and they had, making bread and making, sharpening knives on a stone grinder and spinning wheels and all that stuff.
Well, I think the most between you and Dad both, that has always inspired me, just blown me away, is you two in very different ways, but you both have the ability to say, because I remember all throughout my life, you've always said that. You see something needs to be done, do it. And that's something that you both have, when I've brought to you a problem, you say, well, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to fix it? What are you going to do about it? And oh, I need such and such. Okay, well, go out and get it. That's always just been a mentality that you and Dad both have had in very different ways of going about it, but you both have that of like, go out and do it yourself. Fix it yourself.
Yeah.
And that's something that is like, just blown me away of you as a person. And you as a mom, like, think of all the things that you've done. You started a preschool. You're starting a charitable organization. You raised me. I mean, that's, you know, that's a big...
When I was tired.
Yeah. 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 Like, your little Twitch kid, Red Reader. Look at me now? I don't know. Something?
A success. Counted a success. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think every time, if there's a lack of something, it's like, I just kind of see, is it something that I can fill, or is there a way I can learn? I mean, that's how I learned to play piano, was because we need somebody to play at church, so it's just...
How do you get started with something like, I assume you didn't know how to play piano, and then eventually you did know how to play piano. What happened in between?
Practice. Practice. Yeah. No, I started taking lessons, and and just... Well, and then, you know, why did I do theater? Because it was fun, and nobody was doing it.
Tell us about theater. Come on, Mom. You've got lots to tell about theater.
Sixth grade that had
Let it out. Let it out, Mom. Let it out.
A Christmas Carol in the literature book, and I thought, oh, yeah, we could put that together, couldn't we? Wasn't I naive?
I think that we talked about this on the Christmas episode.
We might have, yeah.
But it's worth bringing up again. What were the highlights of that play, Mom? Please indulge your audience with what the highlights were.
I think it was probably fun up until the time when one of the characters wasn't coming out on time and was duct taped. Duct taped his feet together.
And hands and feet duct taped in the back room.
I don't know if he did that by himself or somebody
there was
else.
encouragement.
Yeah.
One of my personal favorites was when we were dancing and the projector caught on Addie's skirt and she flipped the whole projector over.
Yeah, back when we had the overhead projectors, yeah.
Or when the the fog machine turned on at the wrong time. The curtains opened and closed at random intervals.
Yeah. Yeah, there was that too.
Everyone forgot their lines. Also, the tombstones. Do you remember the tombstones? Yeah. Flying, slinging out underneath the stage curtains out into the audience.
Well, it brought a lot of laughs.
I think a parent said, I want my money back.
Oh.
Which is really something.
That's quite a statement from a parent.
That's quite a statement.
Oh, I remember a lot of laughter. I was so mad, though.
Yeah?
I was a little... Yeah, I was very not really
Okay,
happy.
but, so with that as a starting point...
Uh-huh.
We had no drama department, and you built it up into something beautiful. You made a whole theater. You created a whole theater space. Tell us about your drama years.
Yeah. So I did that for 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah. I know.
I don't remember it being that long.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Gosh.
Yeah. What are the plays that you were in? Peter Pan.
Okay, I was in Peter Pan.
Little Mermaid.
No. I was a Christmas one. It was like Walton's Christmas, something like that.
Oh, yeah. Homecoming.
Homecoming, yeah.
Best Christmas Pageant. That was 6th grade, though. We did
that
that one
wasn't
then.
me.
You weren't in that one.
No. But I remember ones that I remember watching. I remember The Little Mermaid.
Uh-huh.
And I think you did Peter Pan again, maybe?
Because what person in their right mind would think, let's do a musical when you don't have, any music in the background other than...
Okay, but you did it.
Piped in and things, and then little kids. Oh, let's have little kids too, and big kids. And let's
and
have
made all of the costumes for all of these plays. What are some of the other ones you put on? What are some other...
Miracle Worker.
Yeah, Miracle Worker.
That was one of the best ones.
Yeah.
Miracle. Yeah. We did, what was the one with the medieval one?
Oh, yeah.
Holy Grail.
Holy Grail.
Search of the Holy Grail. That was
Holy
pretty
Grail.
funny. That was pretty hysterical.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
by the way, if you ever want to see her massive t-shirt and sweatshirt collection from all of these plays, her address is...
Yeah, we could think back to... Yeah, what are those? There was Match Girl.
Match Girl. You always did a Christmas one and then a spring one, right?
Elf.
Elf.
Elf was a
That
little
was
challenging,
wonderful.
but it was
Yeah, but it was
great acting.
hilarious.
Super
Yeah.
great acting in that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With all of these massive projects, do you ever have a moment where you realize you're in way over your head?
The rest of us did.
Like, which things did I neglect?
Well,
Instead,
all of these stories just sound like they spiral into
Yeah,
these huge and
they
beautiful
sure
projects.
yeah, and there was probably a few times that I got a little stressed out, like toward the ends of them. Maybe.
Okay, so there was always this week right before,
where
like
nobody talked to Mom.
Yeah. Right. The week right before the play went on, my dad and I would kind of have this little ritual.
Yeah.
Where we'd look at each other and be like, "Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't talk about it. Don't do it. Like, we'll do whatever." If she just...
You just tiptoe around?
Yeah, if we like, drove her out to the middle of nowhere and left her, would we be upset about it? Probably not.
Yeah.
There was
I
this...
know, I need to apologize for that.
Yeah. There were
There
definitely...
are costs.
There are costs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are costs. There were some very challenging times. But only it would be that 1 week right before. Yeah. And you would just...
2 days before anyway.
Yeah. But hey...
Well, there are a lot of moving parts, you know?
There are a lot of moving parts.
So many things you can hold in your head.
Yeah. I think 1 or 2 or 5 or 6 or 8 times I maybe got left at school. But here we are.
8 times is a little exaggerated.
I would like to bring up... Let's see. I got left at a baseball game.
I got make this about you, Ari.
At the after-school project. I got left at another after-school
that
project.
Was a bingo.
After you
that
taught
was a
the
bingo.
class that I was in. And then left me.
That was Family Book Club. But you had a lot of people that loved you and they took care of you. Even though I wasn't
Grimar,
there. Yeah.
all you other people who have ever brought me home, thank you. My mom...
And I thank
some
you.
Cookies.
Yes, and I thank you. Yeah.
So now that we've relived a number of Sidney's childhood traumas, Sidney, what has been the biggest lesson that you have learned watching your mom's example in the world?
That's a great question. I think something that, like, and it's not something that I am good at, because it's something that, like, I know that I need to work on, but something that has always, like, inspired me and been just totally ingrained in me is when you see something needs to be done, do it. Because that's a lesson that she has always lived by. And something that, like, not, like, building community, and that's important, but not being so dependent on other people's that you can't learn to do things yourself. Mm-hmm. You know? Like, gumption, I guess. You have a lot of gumption.
Grit.
Like, that's...
You call it grit.
Yeah.
Moxie.
Yeah, a lot of moxie.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of, like, okay, this is what needs to be done. Here's the obstacles. I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. Mm-hmm. And I think another thing is also, like, making memories of all throughout my life. You've always taught me experiences. Like, I remember growing up, the things, like, the very clear memories that I have of things are, like, us going to Portland and riding the train around Christmas time, or going and seeing plays, or music, or acrobatics. Like, weird things that, like, other people didn't always get that experience. Mm-hmm. But we got it, because you and Dad both said, like, oh, this is some, you know, thing that I want to expose my kid to. Mm-hmm. This is an experience that I want them to have. Mm-hmm. And those are the memories, like, from childhood that stay with me the best. Mm-hmm. The ones, the experiences that, like, other kids at school didn't have, but we had because you knew it was important.
Not when I yelled at you to clean your room, or...
No. See, this is another good momism. Every time, so we were never allowed to say, I'm bored.
Right?
Because... Why?
Because there's always something to do.
Because God created this good green earth, and if you're bored, it means you're being lazy. So, whenever you're
I never
bored...
said that.
Yeah, that was Dad. But whenever you would say... I remember telling you, whenever we were bored, you say, go clean your room, because you'll always find something to keep yourself entertained.
Sure enough, right?
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, didn't you just do that this week?
That's exactly
Cleaned
what
your room and found things that you forgot you had.
Yeah, true,
Right?
true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I think that's excellent life advice for any parents out there, because it's a 2-for-1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
What's something or some things that you wish more people knew about you? Because this whole France thing, didn't know.
Yeah, well, that's, could go or not go. I don't know. I have been in every state except Alaska.
I already knew it.
Well, not everybody knows that.
You're not people.
Yeah. Does everybody know that? Oh, yeah, I guess everybody knows that my sister shot me through the legs because I interviewed Anne.
Okay.
And we talked about that. Yeah.
Why have you been to every state but Alaska, though?
Yeah, what's the story with the Alaska holdout?
And why aren't we in Alaska right now?
Yeah, I know. Why am I?
Yeah.
Anyone free?
Let's go.
It's on the bucket list to do. Yeah.
It's light in Alaska now. We should go.
Yeah, we should go. We should go. Because my mom traveled all over in the summers, just took us around in the camper, and we went to Montreal by way of Key West, and from Arizona looped around to everything, and so I've been.
I mean, this sounds very reminiscent of an Oregon to Alaska trip that we could do this summer.
If I'd have done Alaska already, I wouldn't have it on the bucket list. Then
Okay.
what would my bucket list would be empty.
What? If that's what else is
Because
on your
we're
bucket list?
Yeah, there's nothing else on the bucket list. Go to Alaska and then it's over.
And it's over. Let's see. I would like to go to Europe again, because I did that my senior year of high school. That was a few years ago. Things have probably changed a little since then. What was the question?
The rest of the bucket list. So we
The
got
dementia's
Alaska.
setting in, folks.
We got Europe. What else is on the bucket list?
Bucket list. I'd like to publish 8 or 10 books.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to do.
What are the other books you would like to publish?
Well, I don't know. I got to get through these 4 first, but the Christmas one was pretty fun. So
It was
I mean,
very-
it
very
would be
cute.
fun to
It was
do.
very cute.
A couple. I could do a couple of Christmas ones. That would always be. I'm not sure. We'll see how that evolves.
What's your inspiration for all these?
Well, to begin with, it was nurses, so I don't know.
Feels like there's a right answer again to these questions, such as my favorite daughter.
You can answer however you want.
Well, there is, and only one daughter that helped me with the writing, and would fill in pieces and going, oh, you need to include this, or nah, not so good, or yeah.
Shout out to Brandon and other
Yes.
participants of the Johnson Family Farm 5AC camping trip. who
Exactly. Yeah.
Spent a good chunk of the night helping my mom write.
And how long have we been? Okay. Anything else?
33 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right. We're getting close.
What else would you like to... Oh, here's my other question.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of questions. Here's my question, which will be great. Ready?
I'm always ready.
Are you nervous? You look
Should
a little
I
nervous.
be? Should I be?
It's just the build-up. It's not that exciting. What would you want said at your funeral?
She's gone.
Wow.
Mom!
This is going to be recorded on the internet
Oh
forever.
my gosh!
Take notes, because your eulogy is right there.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, she has asked everyone this question that she's interviewed pretty much, so I your listeners want to know, Mom.
Okay. All right. What would I like people to say about me at my funeral? They are going to say that I did a lot of things for the community, that I laughed a lot, that I cared about people, that I took time to recognize different accomplishments that people did, and be there for them.
Mm-hmm. And you made memories.
And I made memories. Yeah. So remember all that, just in case you need it.
Well, don't worry. I've heard that person who makes this podcast, she does a transcript.
Yeah,
So, I also know her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're like this.
Right.
What is the secret to Jan's jams and jellies? Why are they so good?
Oh, extra sugar. Fresh produce and extra sugar. Okay.
What advice do you have for people who would like to build some of the community that the two of you are so good at building?
Oh. I don't know. Just look around and see what needs to be done and figure out how to do it. Make it happen. Take the step forward.
Advice from Jan Johnson. Just do it. I think
Just do
that's
it.
taken.
Yeah, but it was good. It was good. Don't be afraid to step out and do things, and try it out. See if it works.
Be not afraid.
How do you approach just doing things when you have no idea how to do the thing?
Call Mom.
You guys are lucky.
Well,
It's
easy for you.
There's Google. And YouTube. I think it's easier in a small town, probably, to do things. But wherever your community is, just see what your resources were. I mean, when I moved to new places, the first thing I did way back in the day when there were phone books, I'd look through the yellow pages and see what businesses there were and what, how you could connect the dots.
Mm-hmm. Well, how do you move from, I read that this place exists in the yellow pages, to making them part of your world?
Well, I think I've learned to be a good networker, and so I listen a lot. And when I'm having a conversation and somebody says, oh, yeah, I work with the veterans, I'm thinking, oh, okay, I could put you together with this person. That would be good, and then that could make this happen and do, I don't know. I think you have to be a good listener to people and think of how you can be resourceful with that.
Where do the cookies and the jam fall into this?
Yeah, where could one find Mama Jan's eats and treats?
In the pantry. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on our show today. It was such a joy.
It was my pleasure
to talk to you, to learn from you.
Yes.
To find out that I'm the favorite kid.
It's a true accomplishment.
The only thing that could have made it better is if we had more children here to interview, but that might be subject for another time.
It's okay, you got the best.
Wink.
I always got told that I was the favorite daughter, but I was also the only daughter.
Yeah.
It's like being the favorite child out of 10 is way steeper competition.
It's steep.
Yeah.
It's steep. Well,
It's a
that's
big
why she works so hard at it.
Yeah. You'd have to.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. It's been fun.
Our pleasure.